Okay, guys, we had one crazy trade come out last night, and right now we just got word of another trade. So a lot of you guys are familiar about the Andre Iguodala situation with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies were pretty much holding him hostage because they, quote unquote, and I'm going to quote what they literally said. This is Memphis's entire perspective. Buyouts have become a common solution for a situation that the Grizzlies have with Andre Iguodala. However, the Grizzlies were steadfast in their opposition to paying out about 85% of Andre Iguodala's salary for him to play elsewhere. Those with knowledge of Memphis's thinking say a small market franchise with new front office leadership wanted to set this kind of organizational tone. And this is what they had to say about the situation. They said that we are not a feeder system for the league's glamour destinations. You don't build a championship culture by subsidizing teams you compete against on a nightly basis with talent and then covering the tab. That's a doormat mentality that sends the wrong message to your players, coaches, front office personnel, fans, ticket salespeople, sponsors, agents, and broadcast partners. On Monday, we got a report from David Aldridge of The Athletic that said Andre Iguodala would be prepared to sit out the remainder of the season if the Grizzlies are unable to trade him to one of the agreed-upon teams that he designated. Well, good news, ladies and gentlemen. If you happen to be an Andre Iguodala fan, it appears that he will be playing this year. As a matter of fact, he's going to be playing for more than this year. He's going to be playing for the next 2 years. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a second. Guys, if you watch a lot of my content, but you aren't subscribed yet, bro, I'm literally breaking trade news out the moment it comes out. What are you doing? Subscribe, turn notifications on, help your boy grind his way to 500,000 subscribers. Make sure you're following me on Instagram as well. It's at TheFlightMike. Whenever we hit 24,000 followers, I will be giving away a signed Kobe Bryant jersey. Rest in peace, Mamba. You're always in my heart. And of course, if you want to get your gym grind on, follow your boy on TikTok. I make TikToks now. That's a thing. It's also at TheFlightMike, which is the same as my Twitter and the same as my Facebook. Now let's talk about this trade. The only reason they were holding Andre Iguodala hostage to begin with was they pretty much said, look, this is a great guy, a great player that any contending team would want on their roster. We're not just going to give him away for free. You have to give us something to get Andre Iguodala. Give us a pick. Give us something. We're just not going to buy him out and make us eat into his contract just because he doesn't want to play for Memphis, which is fair, which is actually very admirable. But the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies had this mentality and went in with this mindset to the trade deadline that they were not going to just give away Andre Iguodala for nothing automatically gets them an A. They are tired of being the cellar dweller Memphis Grizzlies. They want respect on their name, and they got respect on their name. So at the moment I'm making this video, we just got word that the Memphis Grizzlies are receiving a phenomenal piece in return for Andre Iguodala. They're receiving Justice Winslow from the Miami Heat. And although some Miami Heat fans would be upset about this, I think we should tip our hats off to the Memphis Grizzlies, bro. Because any other team, literally last year or a couple years ago, we saw Carmelo Anthony get traded to the Atlanta Hawks and traded to the Chicago Bulls, both in different years. And in both instances, he was just bought out. They didn't even try to flip him to another team. Literally, we saw Chris Paul get traded to the OKC Thunder this past season, and a lot of people were expecting the Thunder to buy him out immediately and let him sign with whatever team. But instead, the Thunder decided to keep him, and he built his value. I'd like to take this moment to say, I think there's a lot to be said about the shrewd front offices that aren't just lazy sacks of crap that wanted, no offense to the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks, and try to maximize the value of every player that they receive. The Memphis Grizzlies never wavered with Andre Iguodala, and now they get, instead of getting absolutely nothing and having to pay for his contract to get rid of him, they get back Justice Winslow, a player that's perfect for their culture, that fits in perfectly with the developmental timelines of John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Brandon Clark, and the rest of that young Memphis Grizzlies roster. On top of that, can I say something really cool about the fact that Justice Winslow is now a part of the Memphis Grizzlies? If you're a Duke fan, Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, and Justice Winslow were teammates on the Duke Blue Devils, and now they're teammates once again. And guys, the last time they were on a team with each other, they won a national championship in the NCAA. So these guys know what it takes to win. I'm not trying to say that a national championship winner will automatically win an NBA Finals, but still, the fact that these three are reunited is really freaking cool, man. Now, there's a lot of things I need to talk about this Andre Iguodala deal, because there was more than just a deal that got him sent from the Grizzlies to Miami, and this is according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. I apologize if you're a Shams Charania guy. We're doing Woj here. So Memphis has agreed to a deal to send Andre Iguodala to Miami. League source tells ESPN Iguodala has agreed to a trade, but not only has he agreed to a trade, he has also agreed to a 2-year, $30 million extension with the Miami Heat. So this means multiple things. You remember how it was a foregone conclusion that Iguodala was going to return to the Golden State Warriors next year? That's not really happening anymore. Iguodala to the Lakers can't happen. As a matter of fact, one could go as far as to assume that Andre Iguodala is going to finish the rest of his career with the Miami Heat. But dude, I don't think I've ever seen a better businessman in the NBA than Andre Iguodala, because get this, not only did the man literally sit out the entire season and got paid $17 million, but Andre Iguodala got a 2-year, $30 million extension, and he's getting paid until his age 36 and 30. He's getting paid for his age 36 and 37 seasons with the Miami Heat. Now, this is outside of basketball. I have to give props to the man as a businessman. This is freaking genius, dude. He's coming back fully rested. He hasn't played at all this year. Yeah, of course, he may have been training somewhere offshore, but this guy hasn't played at all. His legs are fresh, which are very important. If you're 35 years old, you better be doing some type of load management. This is a beautiful fit, and this is actually, there's another trade, by the way, that's in the works for the Miami Heat, so stay tuned as I finish breaking down this trade, this Andre Iguodala trade. I'm going to tell you another trade that the Miami Heat are about to make, but this is just a beautiful situation for Andre Iguodala. But not only is it a beautiful situation for Andre Iguodala, bro, this is an incredible move for the Miami Heat. It's so true to the Miami Heat brand. The Miami Heat are trying to replicate what the Golden State Warriors had pre-Kevin Durant, a strength in numbers approach, trying to build around their players and put them in their best situation to succeed, while also having savvy veterans in the locker room to guide those young players. And so far, Jimmy Butler seemed to be enough to fit the bill. Jimmy Butler has been doing a phenomenal job guiding Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo and Duncan Robinson and Kendrick Nunn, and, you know, teaming up with Eric Spoelstra to make sure the Miami Heat are in the best position to succeed. However, the one thing I said I felt was going to be problematic, and of course, Bam Adebayo made his first All-Star game this year, so like that is nothing to sneeze at, but the one thing that I always said was extremely problematic was the fact that the Miami Heat were going to get screwed once they entered the playoffs. I couldn't see them making it past the second round in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and it's nothing against them. I love the team. I love the fact that they're not a team that's based upon stars to carry the load. I absolutely love that Jimmy Butler was the only player that was an all-star in previous seasons prior to this season when Bam Adebayo, of course, broke out. But the one thing I absolutely love about this trade is you're adding a player that's been through it all. You're adding a player that has suffered through a terrible, terrible situation with the Philadelphia 76ers earlier on in his career, got traded to a fringe playoff team in the Denver Nuggets later on in his career, then got traded to a team that he literally had to see them build from a second round playoff team to a dynasty. There's no better player to add on your team if you're the Miami Heat. It goes way beyond what Andre Iguodala brings onto the court. As a matter of fact, it's more about what Andre Iguodala brings into the locker room as well. It's just a beautiful fit, and if that's not enough to quench your thirst, Miami Heat fans, guess what? Pat Riley isn't done wheeling and dealing. First of all, I wanted to make something clear, and more news is coming out as I'm making this video. There is a team option on the second year of that contract extension, which means if Andre Iguodala happens to completely suck in his age 37 season, then after next year, the Miami Heat could decline his option and allow him to get back into free agency, and then we could probably see a Golden State Warriors reunion with Andre Iguodala. But that's if he sucks and he's not playing to a $15 million contract, if he's not worth his contract. But on top of that, guys, it wouldn't be a TheFlightMike video if I didn't talk about a potential trade rumor. So let's get down to business, shall we? Because there's another trade that I wanted to let you guys know of that the Miami Heat are about to make. And that is a player that fits in perfectly with them. that is apparently, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, the Miami Heat are also pursuing Danilo Gallinari. Now, Danilo Gallinari has been rumored to be available for most of the season, despite the fact that the Thunder are perhaps the league's biggest surprise. He's currently averaging 19.2 points and 5.7 rebounds. I have no idea how Pat Riley would make this work. I'd be absolutely surprised if he's able to pull it off. But Gallinari pretty much gives the Miami Heat floor spacing, which is what they need, and additional scoring. While I don't even think they absolutely need it, it's just a great thing to have. If you could pull off a trade for Danilo Gallinari and you're the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, you go ahead and do it. And if you ask me, I think this Miami Heat team, following this trade for Andre Iguodala, whether they get Danilo Gallinari or not, I feel like this Miami Heat team is now a serious contender to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Possibly. They have the potential of making it to the NBA Finals. I'm not saying they're a lock, but I'm saying if they make it to the playoffs, I will not be surprised if they made a deep run following the addition of Andre Iguodala. This is a guy that knows what it takes, paired with a guy that wants to win in Jimmy Butler, paired with a phenomenal culture and a stable front office in the Miami Heat. And dude, it's just a match made in heaven. I absolutely love this move. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this trade. Do you think the Miami Heat made a mistake of some sort? Besides that, guys, do me a huge favor. Please. If you're a football fan, go to the comment section down below, go to the description, and subscribe to my NFL channel, Microphone. I'm your boy, TheFlightMike. If you made it to the end, comment a hashtag #ITookFlight in the comment section down below. I'll catch y'all later.